Too often, we fail to plan for an unexpected event and have no clear path or area to maneuver to or stop. The fourth step in decision driving, planning an escape route, focuses on maintaining a clear space around your vehicle and managing that space as conditions change. Planning an escape route is a critical skill every decision driver will learn. In preparing for the unexpected, we must develop a clear decision space cushion around our vehicle. This cushion is essential in preventing the most common type of crash, striking another vehicle from the rear. Decision space also plays a critical role in reducing sideswipe or lane change collisions. Let's look at this video clip and observe how the driver utilizes his decision space to avoid a serious conflict.
We've got probably about 6 or 7 seconds to the front. We can count as this guy go by the sign: 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007 as we get to the sign. Plenty of room for us. Looks like we've got a vehicle stopped in the breakdown lane and a pedestrian maybe standing alongside it. We're going to check to the rear. I've got a truck coming up from behind. I'm going to back off because the door just opened on the car. Let the truck get by. They did get back in. Oh, he's going to come out right into the flow of traffic. We've got room. We let the truck get by us. That was a pretty bad situation that this driver got himself into. Should never pull out onto a highway like that. It was not moving. It's moving at 20 miles an hour while the traffic flow is going 65. We're going to signal and go back to the right-hand side. That car is now moving up to the speed of traffic, but boy, that was a pretty tough situation. Luckily, we had the time and checked our mirrors and looked around to see what was going on that time. That could have been a real tough situation.
By utilizing the skills which we developed in expanding our look-ahead capacity, sizing up the whole scene, and signaling our intentions early, we are able to visualize the development of hazards, inform others, and take corrective action. Let's talk about what decision space is, why it's important, and how we manage it in creating an escape route. Our goal in developing decision space is to allow us time to manage the area around our vehicle. Through managing the space in front of, beside, and behind your vehicle, you'll give yourself enough time to make decisions based upon reliable information and avoid conflict with other drivers. Creating decision space involves utilizing the habits that we learned in expanding your look-ahead capacity and sizing up the whole scene. You can develop enough decision space by looking 8 to 12 seconds ahead of your vehicle, and then instinctively begin scanning your driving environment by looking at something different every 2 seconds. Remember to make a habit of scanning your mirrors every 5 to 10 seconds. Avoid being boxed in between other vehicles. Simply adjust your speed by 3 to 5 miles per hour to allow space to develop to the front, sides, and rear of your vehicle. Always be predictable to vehicles beside and behind you by signaling your intentions early. Decision space includes 3 critical components. Perception time is the length of time it takes for you to see that something is happening around you and realize that you must react in order to avoid danger. Recent research concluded that it takes approximately 1 second for the average driver to realize the need to take corrective action. In this 1 second, you will have traveled much closer to the potential danger and made no change in speed or direction. For example, at 40 miles per hour, your vehicle travels approximately 60 feet per second. In that 1 second, you will have traveled 60 feet closer to a potential collision. Reaction time is the length of time it takes the driver to begin to take decisive action by moving their foot to the brake or turning the steering wheel. For the average driver, this takes an additional 1 second. This time may vary depending upon the driver's age, experience, and physical condition. In our example, at 40 miles per hour, our vehicle will have traveled another 60 feet without change in speed or direction. Thus, at 40 miles per hour, combining perception and reaction time, the vehicle has traveled 120 feet. Braking time is defined as the length of time it takes for the vehicle to come to a stop once the brakes have been applied. Let's examine perception and reaction time together. One way to visualize this is to think about a football field. For the average driver traveling at 60 miles per hour, 88 feet per second, they will travel 88 feet during the time required to perceive the hazard and another 88 feet while moving their foot to the brake. At this point, they've traveled a total of 176 feet, almost two-thirds the length of the field, and nothing has been done to avoid potential danger. Even at slower speeds, drivers often don't realize how far they will travel before they take corrective action. Note how the distance traveled per second varies with speed. To determine the distance your vehicle will travel in 1 second at any speed, multiply the vehicle speed by 1.466. All drivers have difficulty judging distances from a moving vehicle. For this reason, it's important for us to focus on the time it takes to stop, and not the distance. The time required to stop your vehicle is comprised of many factors, such as tire condition, roadway surface, weather conditions, vehicle condition, brake adjustment, ambient temperature, and brake temperature. Coming to a complete stop will take from 3 to 6 additional seconds depending upon your speed. Braking characteristics can vary greatly from one vehicle type to another. You should familiarize yourself with your vehicle's braking characteristics and be aware of the factors that can affect the time it takes for you to stop. Now, let's combine the 3 components that will determine your decision space: perception time, reaction time, and braking time. The sum of the time required for each of these 3 factors will establish our minimum following time. When operating light vehicles, such as cars, pickups, minivans, and SUVs, in ideal weather conditions, a minimum of 4 seconds between you and the vehicle ahead is necessary to establish a safe decision space. For heavier commercial vehicles, a minimum of 6 to 8 seconds of following time is needed. Regardless of the type of vehicle you operate, the following time should be adjusted upward in poor weather conditions. Let's watch how this driver calculates and measures the proper following time for his vehicle.
We're gauging our speed by the vehicles farther up, not by the vehicles that are coming up and passing. By doing that, we continue a good steady pace and a good steady speed. So as we come off, we're going to maintain space behind this other truck. So he has plenty of room. We have plenty of space. And we're going to take a left over here, so I'm going to signal that intention and position the vehicle off to the left, and we're going to come up to our stop sign. We do have emergency vehicles to the front, so that means we're going to have vehicles pulling off to the side, and as they start to come back into traffic, they'll be moving fairly slowly, so we may have a tendency to close up on them. We're going to back off and increase our distance from those emergency vehicles and maintain additional space between us and the vehicles in front because of the potential that traffic may stop up ahead of us.
Most drivers will argue by saying, if I maintain the proper decision space or following time, other drivers will cut in front of me. Others may complain, I will feel like I'm backing up. Let's look at how much time you lose when another driver moves in front of you. While it may vary, it's probably less than you think. For the sake of our example, let's say you will lose 5 seconds each time a driver cuts in front of you. Assume that 10 drivers move in front of you during the day. 10 drivers multiplied by 5 seconds for each driver equals 50 seconds. That is less than 1 minute over the course of a day. If we are honest with ourselves, we all waste more than 1 minute per day. This small amount of time can easily be made up, and your life is most certainly worth 50 seconds of time. Consider that many of them may cut in front of you only to get stopped at the next traffic light. They will still be there when you pull up behind them. How much time have you really lost? Professional drivers who have logged millions of crash-free driving hours habitually maintain their decision space. Through experience, they have learned that invariably a driver who cuts in front of them will change lanes within 1 to 2 seconds, restoring their original decision space. Of course, many drivers do not like being passed or having someone cut in front of them. It may well be a matter of ego, but if nothing has been lost, what does it matter? Truly something has been gained by avoiding a possible collision. Let's watch this video clip of a driver and his method of establishing a safe position for his vehicle within the flow of traffic.
A lot of traffic entering and exiting this road. We just saw that car just run the stop sign, so we're just going to slow down a little bit and let him come out in front of us. We talked earlier about how this is a busy road with lots of people entering and exiting. Slower moving truck up in front of us. We're going to be exiting down the road here just a little bit, so we're just going to ease off it a little bit. He'll pick up speed once he gets over the top of this next hill, so we'll just ease off of it a little bit and stay in our lane.
Now we're in actually a very challenging situation down here because of the number of vehicles. The lights changed. It takes about 3 seconds for the first vehicle to move and about 1 additional second for each other one. So with 4 vehicles in front of us to the light, our time to move was about 7 to 8 seconds following the light change. By giving that time, we established an excellent space cushion to the front. We're in good position on the side, and we notice, I can't see the light up here, but I know there's one because traffic is stopped, and there it goes. The light actually just turned green, so we can kind of keep moving. But watch for vehicles with this truck here. They're going to want to move in front of us, and there goes one right there because they didn't want to get stuck behind the truck, which was moving slowly. The drivers are going to want to get by what they perceive is a vehicle that's moving too slowly for the speed that they want to travel. And many times they're not going to look before they pull in front of you, which that car did. By predicting that or understanding that it's going to happen because we're expanding our look-ahead capacity and sizing up the traffic scene, we could kind of predict that that was going to happen and just adjusted for it, so it really didn't affect us.
Congratulations! You've completed the DecisionSpace program of Decision Driving Tactics. By creating a decision space, you will be prepared to avoid potential hazards on the roadway and make driving safer for everyone.